first job, I was in-house at a fur company with this old pro copywriter, Greek, named Teddy. And Teddy told me the most important idea in advertising is
about to be revealed. And it isn't the word new, as my doppelganger and twin brother, the incredibly handsome Don Draper, once said in Mad Men. No, it's not new. It's locking down attention. Because if you can lock down attention, you got the sale. And we're going to do it using my $50 million sales letter formula, all covered today, broken down step by step. Wow, you are in for a ride. I am John Benson. I'm here to help make you unignorable, and this is Sales Copy Secret. Welcome back. And today we are talking about the $50 million sales letter formula and the subheadlines that go with it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to give you both the formula and all the little subheadlines that go underneath each little part of it. Is freaking crazy. So if you are a copywriter, if you are wanting to be a copywriter, if you need to improve your online skills and you know that you need to do that, or if you're just a super intelligent person that likes to watch other super intelligent, really creative and super handsome and modest people like me, then you are in the right place. So I want you to watch this video all the way to the end, and here's why. I'm going to share a secret link with you at or near or somewhere near the end of this video where you can get the PDF to this $50 million sales letter formula broken out with all the samples I'm going to cover for free and along with every other gift that I have, all in one convenient location. How generous am I? So if you like this, click that like button, destroy it, pulverize it, and share this with a friend. And do me a favor, subscribe and comment below. Let me know that you're subscribed. Just tell me something nice. Keep me going so we can keep feeding you all this good stuff. Cool? All right. So first of all, why is it called the $50 million sales letter formula? Well, as you may have figured out, it made over $50 million. I know. Rocket science. But that isn't true. It actually made over $500 million. Yeah, a lot of money. And I would love to tell you that it made me $500 million. Didn't quite get there, but it made me and my clients that I used it for all conglomerated, put together, stuffed into a blender, roughly $500 million. And so you got to say that you probably want to follow this. You probably want to pay some degree of attention to it because it made a lot of people a lot of money. Cool. So you're saying, John, why didn't you call it the $500 million sales letter formula? Well, because that sounded really ostentatious to me. That sounded like it was impossible to do and people would see it and go, oh, this bullshit. So I kept it 50 million, which is still pretty high, but it just had a better ring to it. So that was the truth of the matter. And the second truth of the matter is when I originally did the formula, it had done about 75 million and I thought, or 70 million, and it's 50 million just sounded better. So I went with 50 and it just grew from there. So part of it is I didn't want to change the name of the damn formula. So I'm giving it to you as is, as the $50 million formula, which you will suffer through and like every second of it. Yeah. And it really is a simple formula. There's 10 steps, there's 10 steps inside of a sales letter that I use routinely. Now, it's not the only thing that can work for a sales letter. You will see sales letters that break these rules. There's nothing carved in stone. I'm not Moses with stone tablets.
The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 10 commandments.
Although he did copy me and do the 10 thing. But this is a very good guideline to go by. And considering I've broken out all those subheadlines for you, you'll find this very helpful. All right, let's dive into the document. All right, we're going to start with the headline that I wrote for, this was ages ago when actually CopyPro used to be Email CopyPro. So it's been that long, but this still worked very, very well. And the headline read, Breakthrough Copywriting AI Tool pulls in millions in lost revenue for everyday marketers who refuse to hire expensive copywriters, even if you can't write a grocery list. Now, I could dissect that headline for you into next week, but I'm just going to give you the highlights of it because really this is about the subheadlines and the structure of the sales letter. But I'd always want to give you a little bit more than you click on, a little bit more than you bargain for, a little bit more value for the buck for the change, bang for the rocket. Anyway, more stuff. So breakthrough, revealed, that word is used all the time. Breakthrough, copywriting AI tool. Okay, I could have said copywriting AI app. If I probably would have written it like that way, knowing what it is today. Pulls in millions in lost revenue. So I didn't say pulls in millions. I said millions in lost revenue. Now that just created a lot of intrigue. Lost revenue. How was it lost? How am I losing it? I just don't know it. What's going on here? So it makes you want to keep reading. For everyday marketers, that's my avatar. It's not for copywriters. It's not for pro marketers. It's for everyday, ordinary, online folks like you and me, man. Ordinary good people who refuse to hire expensive copywriters like me. And then I say, even if you can't write a grocery list. So kind of interesting that I've went from a them, everyday marketers, to a you. Grammatically completely screwed the pooch on this one, and I don't care because I'm not writing to impress my 6th grade grammar teacher, and neither should you unless you want to suck. Part 1 is what I call a positive warning. Okay, this can be positive, meaning you can say something very positive, or it can be a dire negative warning. It's up to you, and you should test both. Part 2 is called Meet Your Hero. Okay, who is the hero of this story? Who is going to save you from the purgatory that you are currently in? Part 3 is called The Hidden Scary Cause. It's not your fault. This is all about the hidden thing that is keeping your prospect down. They don't know what it is. You're going to reveal what it is, and you're going to make the problem larger, just like I taught you in the other videos. Look below. Making the problem bigger, magnifying the problem. This is where you do that. Next up, we're going to have the teaching segment. That's where you're just going to go into what you know and how you can help them, giving them tips that are good but incomplete. Then you dive into the primary solution. That's what we call it, or the unique mechanism. This is what makes all the difference to the prospect. In other words, what's the one thing they've been missing? It's something that makes the offer work, but it's not the name of the offer itself. It's the mechanism behind it. The next step is the offer. You introduce the offer. The next step after that is the proof. And this is the first of 2 proof sections. You can actually have proof dripped all throughout your sales letter, but you definitely want to have them in at least 2 places. And so you want to include the proof, which is of course social proof and other elements. Then your first call to action. Then the second section of your proof, other testimonials. And finally, the close, the final close, and that's going to come into a lot of different elements, and we'll cover them inside the subheadlines. Now, there is an optional PS part in Q&A. I left that out because those are not really fundamental parts. They are fundamental parts of a video sales letter, but I often use PSs and PPSs and PPPSs and everything at the end of my sales pages. I didn't include that. That's actually part of the close. Okay, we are not going to break down the entire $50 million sales letter blueprint because it would take literally 4 hours to do that. Now, I will be doing that over a course of videos if you let me know below that you want me to do that, to where each one of these, I can break down each subheadline section and kind of tell you what goes behind it. But I don't want to do that today. I want to show you how my subheadlines actually form a little mini sales letter. That's the trick. Here we go. The odds are against you unless you really get this. Now, I underline get this because that's NLP. Get this? Get it? Yeah. Buy it? Yeah. You got it. Positive, but the odds are against you unless you really understand it. That's the first thing that they see. Now, obviously, I don't start off the top of a letter with a subheadline, so this is after the introduction. Then that's why you should listen to me. This is what you really want, let's be honest. However, the stakes are higher than you think. Notice the duality back and forth constantly, even here in the subheadlines, right? You see this trick throughout all of my copywriting. We're in the next section now, Meet Your Hero, my life after applying what you're about to discover. So what would your life look like if I could help you erase your challenges? See how it's conversational? Now we go to the next section. Run from these 3 common lies and myths. What's truly holding you back? It's called blank page paralysis. That literally is forming a sentence that I broke in half. The effects of blank page paralysis are often serious. The early warning signs of blank page paralysis. See, I'm telling a story and you can read it and literally get the feel for what I'm saying inside this entire sales letter just from the subheadlines. The teaching segment begins with this one tip changed my life. If you don't remember, look at my videos below. I talk about emphasizing one thing, one idea that really helps people change because they can grasp onto it much easier than the 7 things that changed my life. What's behind the success and how you can replicate it. After a long journey filled with trials and errors, I finally discovered what actually works. See, I'm telling a story. So if you want to add a comma to your bank account, in other words, I'm giving them a goal here. If you want to add a comma to your bank account, or if you want to lose weight, or if you want to do whatever your goal is, you must leverage what's known as, and this is my primary solution, dynamic blueprints. A few quick tips to starting with dynamic blueprints. So then we go right into the offer. So what do you do next to earn more online starting today? Again, earning more online is one of my customers' primary goals in this particular niche. You would put yours. And the next subheadline answers that question, introducing CopyPro. The results speak for themselves. Notice how that just parlays perfectly into introducing CopyPro? Yeah, of course it does. You say, great, but will CopyPro work for me? How about measurable results you can count on? Well, I answered the question. Again, These are telling a story in sequence. And it's backed by an industry-leading results or else guarantee. So all that is in the offer section. Then I start the call to action and I start getting much more benefit and big promise heavy here. I want to give you $5,188 just for taking action today. An absolute steal at this radically discounted sale price. That's a savings to you of over $100 a month. Notice I don't mention the price. I say that's a savings to you of over $100 a month slashed right off the retail price. So I make them want to look and read more to find how much it costs. But as they're reading, what are they doing? They're reading. They're reading more of the sales copy, so they're getting more and more sold. Then there's the second part of the proof. You too can replicate their success stories. And the final close. You know, this is a special time in history. I've done all the hard work for you. How much is time worth to you? You know, the importance of living without regrets is massive. So take action now. That's actually like a little mini close, just punctuated with just nothing but subheadlines. So you get the idea, right? You should be telling your entire story inside your subheadlines. It doesn't have to read like one contiguous sentence, even though many of mine do. But it does need to tell the overall story of your sales page. All right, that was my $50 million sales letter formula broken down for you and the subheadlines that go with it. And now you know the basic idea, the basic structure behind my $50 million, actually $500 million sales letter formula, and you can start writing inside those gaps. Take each little chunk and you can tell you what you need to focus on enough to where you can start filling in the gaps. And if you take the subheadlines, you can dissect the topics that I'm talking about and help you dissect the copy even further, help you fill in those gaps even more. And this is going to help you crank out winning sales pages and avoid at all costs the scroll of death. You do not want the scroll of death blocking your sales and getting in your way. Now, I'm going to cover in my next video how you can create what I call self-identifying avatars. And these break the mold when it comes to building rapport and getting almost an instant connection with all of your prospects and buyers. It's like creating your own little mini club that only you and your prospect can join. And man, once you do that, people will flock to you and they will buy more from you. As always, if you haven't seen my previous videos, they are below. Check them out. Check out the goodies below. And listen, while you're down there, pulverize that like button, will you? Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend. Ring that bell for notifications once my new videos drop so you can be first in line. And as always, I'm John Benson, and my job is to help make you unignorable.